Good morning. How is everyone doing today? This is October 18th, and the subject matter for today's message is going to be the power of prayer. And I want to welcome you all to the Sacred Journey of Life Healing Center. It's actually the Spiritual Center and Healing Order. It's been named that for 2 years, and I still screw that up. I want to welcome you today to the what I hope will be an inspirational moment and productive moment for you, because the intention of today's message is to initiate for you in your life, hopefully daily, a practice of sacred prayer that fulfills you and manifests in your life joy and abundance, happy endings and fairy tales, but imbibes you with the experience of being connected to the divine being. And first, what we're going to do is we have to prepare our space. And I'm going to read for you from the Coltrane Bible and from a couple sources. St. Germain's with us today, too. Prayer is little understood, for it raises the worshiper above a normal state. Prayer is little understood in the process, for it raises the worshiper above a normal state. It's a state of being wherein man loses himself in the spirit of divinity, the divine. There are three things to know about God, the divine. He must be sought for. He cannot be given anything by man, which increases his greatness, and he dwells within his own law. And there are three things God requires of man: effort, courage, and reverence for the sacred. Prayer is an exercise of the Spirit. It must never be misdirected and cannot be used to change natural laws and effects for the sake of the one who prays. Always pray in a place proper for prayer. And Saint Germain, Master Alchemist, addresses the proper place. Without the science of the spoken word, together with that of the creative power of visualization, there is no creation, no change, or interchange in any part of life. When we use mantras or decrees, we meditate on the flame in the sacred chamber of our heart. This sacred chamber is your own private meditation room, your interior castle, as Saint Teresa of Avila called it. In Hindu tradition, the devotee visualizes a jeweled island in his heart. There he sees himself before a beautiful altar where he worships his teacher in deep meditation. Jesus also spoke of a sacred place. Jesus spoke of entering the secret chamber of the heart when he said, "When thou prays, enter into thy closet, and when thou hast shut the door, pray to the Father, which is in secret. And thy Father, which seeth the secret, shall reward thee openly." The preparation. Do not come to prayer as a player in your life, as stated in the Coltrane Bible. Do not come to prayer seeking resolution to problems invented by an inauthentic self. My take. So do not come to prayer as a player in your life, seeking resolution to problems invented by an inauthentic self, doing justice only to your preservation of your constructed material life, your designed friendships, a perfection in which you seek to prove to be right in a picture perfect life. So thus asking for favors of the divine to give life to your illusions, to support your place and to support keeping in place barriers to the absorption of light, of love, of life. It has been too long you have been stuck in old, inflexible, life denying, long outdated childhood survival complexes. For Stephen Watson, the empathetic oracle. Now let us take our restoration, our revival, by the release of our barriers and the lies that hold up those walls. The lies we tell ourselves so we can persist in our external identity that meets the standards of the world outside of us. Those standards that we're held up to by the opinions of friends, of family, of our community. We have too long kept ourselves in place to not disturb others, to not deliver a sense of who we really are. But that's in order that they continue to feel safe with us. They continue to feel secure with who they need us to be. They can reign supreme in their lives because they know what to expect of us. We have become obsessed and controlled by the world glamour that is most alluring to us. And it could actually be glamour. It could actually be whatever that feeds our ego, that lack of, that nothingness, instead of being fulfilled by spirit and source. Those mind-based choices based on external circumstances, directives, standards, those choices that are not soul-bound and do not move us forward. Now, the place to be, what to bring to this sacred space is purity. Bring the purity of your inner child. To begin our prayer, bring this state of being wherever you are. Include and integrate your inner child who's always still present with you. Your emotional body is reflective of decisions that were made by and are still made by your inner child. We must include him or her. We must embrace him or her. We must take tender care of the afflictions of the heart of that very tender inner child. Because this tender inner child, wounded, is still determining your choices, is still part of that programming choice you've made that's creating the life you're living now. And consider this, that during this pandemic, as things have halted around us, and we've had to deal with only the immediate because we didn't have access to all those things that distract us, begin to look at and feel, and you'll feel it, my friend, you'll feel it. You'll feel hollow. Your expression will probably be like a deer caught in the headlights when you realize what you've invested that means something to someone else and doesn't fill your heart, doesn't express your soul, is very, very far from what you said you really, really wanted when you were 4 and 5 and 6. You now begin to see that the investment of time and energy, your spirit, has been to build up this identity that includes the house and the car and the relationship, even how many children you have or don't have. And we need to step back because a lot of the pain that we're dealing with right now isn't just the immediate loss of opportunities for fun and enjoyment, our regimen, our usual, our routine, that thing that usually makes us feel safe because we can count on it. No, the pain that's coming to surface, and I think I believe causing a lot of mental upset and depression, is beginning to see how life was running us. External conditions were in charge, and we're left here now to re-choose, to re-choose. And so to look and say, but this is what I spent all this time on. This is what I said I wanted. This is what people are counting on. And then looking to into your future about what's possible. There's a break. There has to be a break. So I bring prayer to you now. And the angels say it's imperative that you understand the sacred space of prayer, the very sacred space of prayer, to bring yourselves to peace, to bring yourself to the portal where grace is accessible and the divine can fill you up. So we're going to bring the purity of your inner child. What do we mean by purity? We're going to address purity, and I want to get away from whatever pictures you may have of that word. Consider these words. In the seemingly random moments of feeling, you tend to reach into a past memory of experience and dictate into the present what the emotions of the moment should be. Now, begin to approach the presentation of others with a possibility that the dualistic judgment of your path may be dictating your intentions. Your intentions are being dictated by a past experience of emotion that you're just bringing into the story, but you're not present to what the emotion is right now, right now, right now. With an energy of innocence, there may be an opportunity to gain a better insight. That, the innocence of a child. The innocence of a child. So we could gain from that place, that experience, and understanding of all of the forces that make up the moment you recollect. It's not that you should not trust your instincts, but instincts gained from prior wounds serve no one. As an empath, you can feel beyond the pictures and labels of your wounded past by staying in the innocence of the experience as a child feels. Your innocent child. Emotions can be navigated from one experience to the next without the burden of emotional baggage. Stephen Watson, The Empathic Oracle. To prepare for a prayerful relationship with the divine, we shall lead you in an exercise to allow your true experience of yourself to arise, to forgive what and who needs to be forgiven. So you experience yourself as deserving, then move into word as an act of creation with spirit. So first, no past, not be in the past. Remember the past, recall the emotion like an eagle perched in the sky. Be here now, and allow the experience, just the exciting moment of now. The only time you're responsible for is this moment. There's no future to cause anxiety now. Just be here now in the moment, creating. Because we're going to allow the memory to come up. We're going to forgive what needs to be forgiven to create space. And then we're going to create in prayer. Yes, my friends, we are asking you to now close your eyes and visualize yourself at 4 or 5 or maybe even 6. Bring yourself to a person or an incident or an experience where you felt you were dishonored or ignored or reprimanded unfairly. The situation was unjust and you had no power. Your feelings were hurt. There may even have been a challenge against your physical well being. Your sense of self was reduced. Go back to that moment. Go back to that incident, please. Go back to that experience. Again, with your eyes closed now, be with this opportunity. What happened? What happened? Who was present? Who was present with you? Do you recall the words that were said? The action that was taken? Go back. Be in the moment like a fly on the wall. Tell the truth about what happened and what was the impact on you? What was the impact on you? What did you decide about yourself? What did you decide about the person or persons that were present with you at that point in time? What did you decide? Tell the truth. Be authentic. Be real. Be real here. How does this decision, this experience, this feeling, this emotion impact you now in your current life? How does this decision, this experience, and you made a decision out of that experience, how does it impact you now in your current life? And now stand back and look. Who is there to forgive? Who is there to forgive? And what are you forgiving them for? And go deeper than the action that was perpetrated against you. You're now an adult. Now, as an adult, looking at this, what do you see is the opportunity to forgive them for? What is there to forgive them for? Feel that forgiveness in your body. Be present to the emotion that was brought forward. Sadness, grief, fear, dismay. Be present to that emotion that was brought forward and allow it to be. Allow it to be. And now see, as you've released the experience and you've forgiven those involved, including yourself, you may actually see a need to forgive yourself. Now, no need to hold on to it. No reason to continue to invest into it. Send the experience into the blackness of the galaxies. Send the memory to the blackness of the galaxies to disappear. To disappear. And recognize, standing here, observing this experience, that you are safe, you are whole, you are complete, and there is no truth, there is no truth in the memory. Begin to feel loss, pain in your emotional body begin to dissipate, diminish. And begin to feel in your body a restoration, a revival, equilibrium, balance. Begin to experience balance. So you're forgiving self, forgiving any others involved. And now, whether they've passed or not, send them your blessing. Send them your blessing. And bless yourself. Bless yourself. Feel the white light emanate from your etheric body now as you move a little bit more freely. You've moved through this shadow. Your heart chakra expanding. You can actually feel your heart chakra expanding. There's warmth there. There's love there. There's appreciation there. There's grace there. Forgiveness is an act of love. There's love there. And feel your third chakra begin to open up to express release. From this place, the words are acknowledged, and the opportunity in prayer can now be said. And if it's possible where you are, and when you read this, or when you watch this video, please use your voice. Speak it. Speak the prayer of the release of this forgiveness, an act of love. Now, what I'd like you to do is place your dominant hand on your heart and say to Spirit now, as we prepare ourselves for our sacred space, for our prayers today. Spirit, flow through me and touch my heart. Guide me along the path to my fulfillment. Spirit, flow through me and touch my heart. Guide me along the path to my fulfillment. And one more time. Spirit, flow through me and touch my heart. Guide me along the path to my fulfillment. And now for a moment, I'd like us to be quiet, and I'd like you to express in prayer to Spirit what your soul hungers for. Ask for what you really, really want. Expect it. Expect it. Visualize it right now. What is your soul holding dear and requesting? Healing, fulfillment, assistance. Tell God now what you want, what you need. Spare no words, no judgments. Don't justify. You don't have to justify. Coming from your heart. Trusting yourself now. What do you really, really want and need from God? That you know, if expressed in this life now, would fulfill you, would bring you joy, would have you give joy. And in these next few minutes, take this opportunity to speak that out loud. And first there was the word, speak it out loud. Take another minute. Now, a prayer for fulfillment. Be with these words and steal any of it for a prayer. These words are not mine. They are the words of John O'Donohue from his book, Blessings. Actually, I'll give you the source at the end of this because it's a wonderful book. May the integrity of my soul be my first ideal. May the divine source me to guide and bless my work. May I have the courage to turn aside from the industry of distraction, the religion of stress, and the deity of progress. May I have the courage to turn aside from it all and come to kneel down before the poor to discover what we must do, to turn away from anxiety and anger and come to find my way back home. May I have the grace and wisdom to act kindly, learning to distinguish between what is personal and what is not. May I be hospitable to criticism and never put myself at the center of things. May I act not from arrogance, but from service. May I work on myself, building up and refining the ways of my mind. May I cultivate the art of presence in order to engage with those I meet. May I know the wisdom of deep listening, the healing of wholesome words, the encouragement of the appreciative gaze, the decorum of held dignity, the springtime edge of the bleak question. May I have good friends to mirror my blind spots. May leadership for me be a true adventure of growth. May I succumb to the warmth in the heart where divine fire glows. The source for our prayer is To Bless the Space Between Us, a book of blessings by John O'Donohue. So now we're going to close with a song called The Future. Let me have this send you off into a great day, a winning day. The Steelers play today.
There is a light at the end of this road, and I know that there's still a long way to go. As long as my head is high and I walk with pride, go with the strength inside, take every step in stride. No chance will pass me by. Long as I always try, won't let my passions die. And as long as I'm alive, the future belongs to me. Oh, the future belongs to me. And it's gonna be a beautiful thing. has been written, and the very days are gone. How will you be remembered? What page will you be on? Will you be someone they reverence with wise words to quote? A paragraph, a page, a chapter, more than a footnote. As simple as the questions asked, the answer I propose is to look beyond the days gone past and see tomorrow knows that the future belongs to me. Oh, the future belongs to me. And it's gonna be a beautiful thing. A beautiful thing to see. Such a beautiful thing to see. It's gonna be such a beautiful thing. Future, the future, future, the future, future, the future belongs to me. Future, the future, future, the future belongs to me.
The future belongs to you. The future belongs to me. And in that prayerful state, powered by the engine of our spirit, inspired by our true, authentic, soul bound promises that we made when we entered onto this sacred journey of life, inside that partnership with spirit, being in that sacred space as an innocent child open to the glory of spirit and the glory of your being, all will be made possible in your life, in your community, and on this planet. So love yourself, express yourself, be true to yourself. And for whatever complications and challenges you're facing now, based on all the chaos and the disorientation this disease is causing us, there is an answer. There is an answer. Look to the light. Express your love. Be yourself. Be yourself. I love you. Namaste.